welcome to my space of good talk, gist, and just general lifestyle conversations. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Elizabeth. Welcome to this space. So, if good talk, if gist, and just conversations sounds like something that you're interested in, please subscribe to this channel. Also, give this video a thumbs up and just generally let's have a good time together because here we talk about everything and anything that is worth talking about. I'm making my business to bring you gist from social media and then we just talk about it. So welcome to my space. Recently I saw a post on Instagram, I think, where the lady was talking about a conversation she had had with her husband. So she's been married for a while now, and she and her husband were just having a conversation where they were talking, and her husband happened to mention that women that have been married, women that have been with other people's husbands while they were young cannot make a good wife. So she goes ahead to say, oh, but they do make a good wife. I was with 2 married men before I got to meet you, and I make a very good wife. And that has been the genesis of her problem. She's having like serious marital issues. She wanted to know what to do and all of that. So here is the situation. You know how you're just gisting, you just feel like you're having a good time with your husband and you're just gisting, and she happened to mention that she has been with married men before. You see, I'm all for transparency. Do you understand? In relationship, when you meet somebody, you might want to tell them about your past and all of that. I'm all for transparency, but there gets to a time, there's a time in a relationship where you let some things go. You just let the sleeping dog lie. You guys have been married for a while now. What is the need? Do you understand? What is the need to bring this up? And I say this with all sense of responsibility, because imagine you dated this man, you courted this man, so you must already know the kind of person that he is. Do you understand? You already know the kind of person that he is. You know how personal he can take situations and all of that. So I'm not even talking about a woman to man only, I'm talking about in general terms. So even for men, you dated a woman or you're dating a woman, you're courting a woman, you already know this person's capacity to handle situations. You already know their level of maturity. So there are some things that you should know that you just leave it out. There's no point in saying it to them. There's no point in addressing those situations with them, because somehow you guys must have talked and you must have seen their reactions to things. Because I want to believe that she did not just know how her husband behaves. She doesn't just know about his level of maturity. They must have had, if not this kind of conversations, but something similar that would have told her all through when she was dating the man or they were cutting, something similar that must have told her that this man, this is how he reasons about this kind of things. Or you say, this babe, this is how she reasons about this kind of things. So some things you're not lying to them. You just conveniently leave it out. And like I said, I say it with all sense of responsibility, because at the end of the day, you find yourself in this kind of situation that this particular lady finds herself now. And ever since she went further to say, ever since she's had this conversation with her husband, it's been a totally different ball game in their household. Her husband used to be very loving, caring and all of that, but now he really doesn't care anymore. He goes out really late, he goes out and comes home really late. And when she asks him, he's all about those women that you were with their husband. I'm out there trying to help them to work on their mental health, all those things. And then the man starts to give her flimsy excuses and all of that, which is not good. At this point, she doesn't know what to do. She's tried to apologize to her husband. She's tried to, it's all messy. It's all messy in their household at this point. And I do really think that we should learn, when you're with somebody, You know their level of maturity. You talk to them, bring up conversations, bring up scenarios that happen, and even the ones that do not happen. Just bring up these conversations, get to know them better, so you know what to say to them, you know what not to say to them, you know how to address situations and how not to address situations with them. It goes both ways. It's not just about a woman being with a man, being with men before. People come around to talk about body counts and all of that. And I know it's important to have these conversations, but also it is not everything. It is not everything that you say to your partner, especially if you know that they are not matured enough to handle it. Personally, I think I've learned this personally, where I've been in a conversation and this man has said to me that you have to know the strength of your partner in handling situations. You have to know their strength in handling situations before you actually speak, before you actually say some certain things to them, so that you don't find yourself in this kind of situation. Know their capacity, know their level of maturity. Is this something that you will say to them that when they are angry, when they are mad at you tomorrow, they bring it up, they insult you by virtue of that? We have all lived certain kinds of lifestyles that we are not proud of. But at the end of the day, we are trying to move on from those lifestyles. You need somebody to remind you all the time that, oh, you haven't done well. Do you need somebody to remind you about this all the time? So you must know their level. You must know their level of maturity. You must know how they're able to handle situations. You must know how they're able to handle circumstances. And how do you know? Bring up conversations. Talk about people. Talk about random conversations. Have random gists with them. And then you know how they reason. You will be able to tell how this person reasons, and you know what to do moving forward. You, even from dating and courting them, you already know if this person is somebody that I can end up with, or how am I going to manage the relationship. How do we manage the relationship when we get married? If you know that it's not going to be easy for you, then you just let go of the relationship rather than getting married and finding yourself in a situation like this. So it is basically important. I think what I'm just saying generally is know your partner's level of maturity. It is very, very important that you know your partner's level of maturity and know the kind of conversations to have with them. Their level of maturity will determine the kinds of conversations that you have with them. And I hope with these few points of mine, I have been able to convince you, to confuse you, that your partner's level of maturity really, really matters in conversations that you have and even in your relationship at large. And so it's about time for me to say that please, I want to hear from you. Please, I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think in the comments. Would you discuss everything with your partner? Do you think it's important, their level of maturity is important in discussions, in how you run your relationship? Please do leave me your comments in the comments section and let's just talk about it. I mean, let's gist about it. And also remember to subscribe to this channel. Please give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends, share with your loved ones, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.